right, it is time for Trend Watch this morning, and Anuluapo Idowu is back with me in the studio.
And of course, something we have to talk about, maybe you are not a student anymore, of course, but it's something that must have happened at one point in time, way back in school. Court remands 52 students of Ambrose Ali University for protesting against kidnapping and insecurity in Ekpoma. We know Ambrose Ali University, I used to have a friend there, but that's not even important. What's important is, according to the story, according to accounts by some of the affected students, those arrested were not apprehended at the protest ground, but were picked up from where they resided. So no fewer than 52 students of the school, Ambrose Ali University, AAU, Epoma, have been remanded in correctional facility following a midnight crackdown by operatives of the Nigerian Police Force on hostels across Epoma in Esan West local government area of Edo State. That seems to be like the topic. I remember way back in school at the University of Ibadan, at the time, there was more like a reality that policemen cannot enter into the school premises to pick people. If they would do that, they would do that in collaboration with, the school security, architecture, which of course we also know them to be Abefele in the University of Ibadan, for example. So they have to work with them, but they cannot come armed and then start picking up people from their hostels because well, maybe the school management would not even allow. So they frown out those kind of things. But what has happened from maybe when I was in school to now, when they can now pick people from their hostels in the night? I mean, these are not criminals. They protested. The school management has a way of, curtailing protests from becoming a nuisance in the school premises. They know how to go about this. They know what to say and how to. When does it become the responsibility of police officers outside the school campus and not the school management curtailing this kind of activities? Protest is a right. I mean, especially if they did not kill anybody or destroy properties. It was just a protest within the school environment and maybe even across the state to express their grievance and the way their displeasure to the insecurity situation currently bedeviling their state and the state of things. So I think this is not even out of place for them to do, because if you also record, the current president of this country was involved in many protests. From what we've seen, what we've heard, and what we've read, some of our fathers can attest to it that some of the great leaders we've had in the country were one time.
They were still there in 2012 for subsidy removal.
So it's not even. You can't say it's out of place for anybody to protest. That's what I'm saying. But again, why should it be the responsibility of police picking them up just because they are protesting? They are students. They are not criminals.
Well, I think every school has a modus operandi. How do they operate? What's their mode of operation, right? Well, I can tell for a fact you went to the University of Ibadan, and as University of Ibadan, unless Abefele points you out, nobody comes into the school to arrest you. But that's not the case with other schools. Okay, so Epoma is not Ibadan, and Ambrose Ali University is not the University of Ibadan. So there are two different things and two different schools. But one thing is clear, right? There were claims and insinuations that some shops were looted and properties were vandalized. Even the palace of the king was actually vandalized. So there were reasons to arrest. Now, the only thing is, when the sting operation was conducted, what intel was available to the police? Are the people who were arrested truly the culprits who perpetrated the evil act? These are the things we need to, because I don't think we have the security infrastructure in Nigeria to be able to pinpoint exactly who the criminal is, right? So I have been able to, I'm privy to that detail that, they just do random arrest. Oh, there's someone here. So whoever they meet with that person automatically becomes a criminal as at the time when he or she is arrested. So another thing that I'm afraid of for these students is, even if some of them are criminals and some of them are not, or they must have one way or the other been there when the crisis occurred, and one way or the other, some people will do things that you are there and there's nothing you can do about it. You cannot stop them, but it does not mean it does not mean that you couldn't stop them, but it does not mean that you participated. So it's just that you were there as an eyewitness. It's a crisis, and unfortunately, it doesn't seem like the truth can set you free in Nigeria as it stands, because of how the security apparatus is set up and how the justice system is against someone who really does not have help in one way or the other. So I think it's a problem. Can we truly investigate this and see if all of them were involved? Don't just arrest people randomly and say, oh, you were there, you participated, and for that reason you are going to jail. I mean, the first thing for them to have done is to investigate. Yes, you have arrested. thorough investigation before you now send them to
correctional facilities.
I mean, for me, I think it's a dent. And most importantly, you realize that even if you are wrongly accused in Nigeria and you come back, and so a court somewhere says, oh, you are to be awarded a certain amount of money, that's where you will be, if that's what you are expecting. So I don't think we have the security infrastructure to get things done the right way yet in this country. But we can begin to use the native intelligence, human, well, there are human errors here and there, but we can be able to judge things better than we used to, so that you stop putting unnecessary people in jail. And if you check Nigerian jails, of course, recently there are stories about people who've been there for 15 years and eventually a lawyer went there and then got them bailed. Not because some people are even in jail and their parents don't even know where they are. They are still praying in church saying, oh, we are looking for so-so person. Pictures are being pasted here and there. Oh, we are looking, this person is missing. And the person is not missing. They were wrongly arrested or picked up one way or the other. I was looking at a story of a guy who went to buy plantain, just plantain. And then while he was coming back, a raid was being conducted and he was picked up. This guy spent 15 years. All because of nothing, just because of plantain. So I think we should decongest our prisons. Thorough investigation should be made. You don't just arrest people and dump them there. Sometimes the IPO is not even in that command anymore. He has traveled. He has been transferred to somewhere else. And that case will stop because no one is taking it up. So this, and I'm more sure, especially with this story, I think is a story that really needs to be escalated until the right people are, apprehended and the wrong people that have been arrested are released.
Let me also lay claims on what I've been trying to say. What happened to the school management when the protest was ongoing? What did they do? Because I know for one, maybe this is not peculiar to
it could be that they had prior knowledge that the raid was going to happen.
But they could have, there are ways to do this. I don't know.
See, no matter how big you are as an institution, you cannot protect criminals if they have been adjudged to be ones.
Yes, if they have been adjudged, but they have not been adjudged. These are students. They are protesting. What they are protesting for, is it valid? Maybe yes.
But
maybe
properties were vandalized.
But
someone has to pay for that.
Before it boomeranged into that, I'm saying the school management could have passed a circular. I know, I don't know for many universities, but I know certain universities have a way of communicating to students. There's a hearsay that there's going to be a protest. Please, any student that still wants to remain the student of this school should not engage in such. There are ways to go about this, and not just using a blanket and letting the police just take over to use a blanket approach.
No intel about what was going to happen.
I differ.
Or maybe,
there
was miscommunication one way or the other. Maybe there was a gap in communication. But then, it has happened. The only thing that is left for the school to do now is to make sure they see this to the end. And whoever has been arrested unjustly should be released so they can go home to their families or maybe go back to school. But the trauma will remain there, right? You were not part of any criminal acts and someone picks you up and puts you in jail for doing absolutely nothing. Someone should pay for that, right? Whoever has made that arrest and kept someone in jail for long, for not doing anything, should pay dearly, even with their jobs. Okay, that would be the convenient point to leave it this morning. We say thank you for joining us on this show. Don't forget to link up with us on all socials, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Dominion Broadcast. And then do well to link up with us again tomorrow. Same station, same host, and definitely same show. Sam Sebalogun is my name. Keep being good out there and keep being safe. Bye for now.
And I'm Manolo Akpoido. Thank you for joining us. See you again next time, and bye for now.